So, my oldest kid threw up twice last night, and we're about to leave for vacation in 4 days. Welcome to the life of a dad and a content creator. Now, if you guys are new here or you haven't seen any of my videos before, my name is Ben, and in November of 2025, I lost my full-time job. Now, before that or during that, I was also a part-time content creator. So I made content for brands doing UGC, and I have decided over the last 6 months or so, this is now March of 2026, to go all in on creating content. And I've definitely had some success over the last several months, but building a business and being a parent and trying to do all the things like being a good dad, a good husband, a good partner, and build a business has been challenging. And to me, going all in on content means not only creating short form content and building out my business and working with more brands, but also building a business that allows me to do the things that I want to do, like travel with my family. So in these vlogs, we're going to talk about everything from parenting to business to content creation to mindset and just everyday life. Trying to give you guys a little more behind the scenes of what it's like to try and build this business from zero to something that's actually sustainable, useful, and brings in enough money that I can help sustain our life and our lifestyle and keep a roof over our heads. So welcome to the first episode. Now, I did not start out with the dream of being a content creator. In fact, it was a pretty new experience for me. Now, I've always made videos from family travels and vacations and honeymoons, and I've always had a passion for creating. I was a musician in college. I went to school for music business. And when I got out, I went into a safe career, what I thought was a safe career. I worked in marketing, worked a little bit in social media for some multi-billion-dollar companies running their social programs. But ultimately, even my safe corporate job turned out not to be so safe. And so now I'm trying to build something for myself, which is really scary, but really incredible. And honestly, I would be lying if I didn't say that I was nervous. My severance is almost up. Time is basically out from getting any residual pay from my former corporate career. So what needs to happen now is either start making a lot more money from my content, more consistent money from my content, or find another job in corporate America, which, with the way things are going, the rise of AI and the way the economy's gone in America, that is getting harder and harder to do. Now, here is the interesting part about all of this. It's like making content is cool and all, but it's very different when it becomes your sole source of income, especially coming from where I came from, which was a high-paying corporate career. But now I'm relying solely on content creation to make money. Now, I am looking for another job too, because I think I need something a little more stable than what we're experiencing right now. But the income ultimately isn't super steady. If brand deals fall through, then you're not going to make any money for the month. And that can be really scary, especially with 2 kids and a mortgage and bills to pay. We're making a big upgrade to the office today. In this gigantic box are 2 impact Varipoles. I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing with them and why these are important. In my studio, I film in a relatively small space. So it's just a spare bedroom. So it's like 12 by 12. It's not very big. And I've got 2 distinct filming areas. So I have behind me where I have my desk, my mic setups where we do podcasts, any of my talking head recording stuff. And then back here, we have my top-down setup, my other light, and I use this area for shooting product photos, doing any kind of videography for brand work that I'm doing. But the biggest problem is I have these light stands So I have these light stands everywhere. And you can see in this small space, these light stands make a huge footprint. I have my C-stand over here. Both of these just take up a ton of room. And realistically, I cannot afford to lose any more floor space than I already have. So the reason I'm putting up these Varipoles is because they can effectively replace these light stands and they shouldn't take up nearly as much room. So I'm going to set you guys down, set this up, and see what they look like. Hopefully these are going to work. So I've got both Varipoles set up. Got this one back here, which has my light, action camera. I can set up like a B cam here. And then I just set up the overhead rig, which I can take up and put down as needed. So I'm excited about this. So like I was saying before, the reason that I have all of this stuff set up in my studio is not because I originally set out to be a content creator. In fact, I had a very nice, well-paying corporate career, and I always had a passion for making videos, but I never wanted to make it my primary source of income. Well, that changed in November of 2025 when I got fired from my job. Well, I didn't get fired. I was displaced, meaning they basically tell you your job doesn't matter anymore and you are not working there. So I had to figure out a plan. I had to figure out a way to earn money while also searching for another job and trying to raise 2 kids and be a good husband. And with all of that, it seemed like content creation was one of the easier things that I could do because I had the gear, I had experience creating content and working with brands. And the goal was really just to take that to the next level and actually make it a real source of income. So over the last few months, I've been working with several brands, and this has become my primary job. Now, has it replaced all of the money that I was making at my corporate job? Absolutely not. Not even close. So I would recommend, if you are thinking about making the jump to content creation, like have a plan in place, have some savings. Like with any business, you need to have a cushion to fall back on. Now, luckily, I was in a position where I was receiving severance and I could work, on this business over the last 6 months. And even then, this is still a really scary process because I haven't 100% replaced my corporate income. Plus, I'm having to learn all of the things that go into running a business, like how do I actually get money out of my business? How do I separate my personal and business bank accounts so that I'm not getting in trouble with the IRS? There's all these other administrative things that you have to learn on top of trying to figure out how to pitch brands, how to create better content, how to tell better stories, and become a more valuable asset, not only to brands, but also to build a community and an audience that means something. And so I say all of this to say that if you're new to this channel and you're trying to figure out this stuff like I am, I say all of this to say that I want to challenge myself to create more content like this, more vlog content where you guys are seeing the behind the scenes, the struggles, the successes, rather than just what gets shared on social media, which oftentimes can be a highlight reel. We don't see a lot of failure, and then we think that we're not doing enough or we're not doing well enough or we should be earning, hundreds of thousands of dollars from our content, and that's just not the reality. But doing a challenge like this of trying to post more content, of trying to post a short form video every day and a few long form videos a week is helping me learn so much more about myself. And I hope you guys can do the same thing too, because I'm learning more about my business. I'm learning more about my content. I'm learning more about finding my voice and how to do things like talk to the camera and have a conversation that actually makes sense and that people might want to listen to. But it's a slow process. We're going to keep going, keep grinding, and hopefully some good comes out of this. See you guys in the next one. Peace.